Alright, hi everyone. So in case you did not know, I was recently invited out to the Sims 4 Get to Work preview event where I met a handful of amazing simmers and also had the opportunity to play the expansion pack in advance, which is crazy. If you don't know what this expansion pack is about, as the name implies, you can now have your Sims go to work and you get to control them at their job. You can have them be a mad scientist, a doctor, and a detective. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about my first impressions of the game, and I will tell you there is a lot of content in this game, a lot more than I anticipated, and a lot of cool new little things that took me by surprise that you might not even know is in the expansion pack, but I'll talk about it. First, let's talk about the careers. So I did dabble a little bit in each individual one, and my personal favorite one was actually the scientist career. I thought the detective one would be my favorite, but as a scientist you get to go around making all these cool inventions, and your scientist even gets to talk to this cute little robot as you're working on this big machine that's like a 3D printer. And what's even most awesome about the scientist career though, okay, if you advance far enough in it, you can actually go to an alien world, which is fantastic because this is the first time that you'll ever be able to do this in any game, where your Sims have been able to get abducted, which that has returned, and also male pregnancy has returned. And once your Sim goes into the UFO, they have a chance to get pregnant and come back, but you can actually teleport to the world and check it out. It's so pretty too. All the plants there glow, just the scenery there is really great. And of course, since there is an alien world, there are obviously aliens that have returned. You can create an alien right away from Create a Sim, and in Create a Sim, they have different properties that you can edit now. You still click and drag to manipulate them, but you can give them much more pointy ears, and there's a lot of new makeup in the game. And if you boot it up and you see it all and you're like, what is this stuff? Because a lot of it is very not traditional type of makeup. It's supposed to be used for the alien, but you can use it on the normal Sims as well. You can make it work. There's some really cool new lipsticks actually that have sort of a metallic shader to them, which was really interesting. And when you take your alien into the game, they can actually mind control other Sims. They can disguise themselves as human Sims, and you can actually edit their disguise as a human Sim as well. There's also potions that have returned, and you can use them on yourself or other Sims. Some of them are malicious, some of them are beneficial, and I've always loved the potions in the Sims series, so I'm glad that has returned. There's this awesome gun, not a gun, well kind of, it's like a ray that you can use to mess around with Sims. And I don't know, just the scientist career actually blew me away a lot more than I anticipated. With the hospital career, I did enjoy that, but I realized that I'm really awful at micromanagement because there's just constantly Sims approaching at the front desk and I'm like juggling all these different patients. It was pretty stressful. It was very realistic to working. And hopefully once I start playing it, I'll actually know how to utilize my time the most in the game, because there were so many people waiting and I was having to take care of so many Sims. And I did have one of my Sims actually deliver a baby, which is really awesome and also incredibly frightening because the machine that you use to help other Sims give birth is very intense. It's this crazy machine with these two claws. They go in, they sometimes accidentally rip out Sims' hearts and they put glue into the it's hard to explain, but there's actually a lot of animations in this game that are very reminiscent of The Sims 1 and 2. It's very what's the word, slapstick comedy, but it's great. I love it. It totally fits this whole new stylized look, and it just makes the game a lot more charming to watch without a doubt. The detective one is pretty fun too. That one was my favorite in The Sims 3 Ambitions. So you get to go around investigating all these clues, you get to interrogate Sims, you get to get suspects, and it's just fantastic. I'm so glad because in the Sims 4 base game, it was pretty much like 100% the perfect town. There was no crimes or robberies or anything, but now there's all these different crimes that are happening, and you actually get to be a part of solving the crime. And you know, you could be a good cop or a bad cop, And I didn't really get to play too much with the retail stuff because by then I had already spent so much time with the other careers, so I can't really talk about that all that much. I ended up just building a store, which was a lot of fun. This is the store that I built, and you can sell literally anything as long as it's on a retail lot. Then you can set any item for sale in live mode, and then your Sims will stop on by and purchase things. Now, my favorite thing though about the retail stuff is the fact that there's these handful of mannequins. There's both child and adult mannequins. You can put their own custom clothing on these mannequins, or you can randomly generate them. You can strike them in different poses, and your Sims will eventually, from the neighborhood, stomp on by your boutique. They'll try on clothes. If they like it, they'll buy it, and they'll walk out wearing their brand new spiffy outfit, which is fantastic. So all of the pre-built shops you will find in a new world called Magnolia Promenade. And by the way, this is the new world select screen that was added into the expansion pack. And from left to right, it's Willow Creek, Oasis Springs, Magnolia Promenade. I will say the world is small, which is really unfortunate. I do wish it was bigger, because a lot of us play the game for so long and we fill up lots incredibly fast. You can place a retail lot in every single neighborhood. It doesn't have to just be in the new world, but I just hope that for future expansion packs that the worlds they add in are as big as Willow Creek and Oasis Springs. One of the pre-built shops is a photography studio, and this is extremely helpful because I've done a whole bunch of legacy challenges in the past, and I've always loved displaying pictures of my Sims on the wall, and you can do exactly that. So you can take group photos in the photo booth. Your Sims can also take selfies with their smartphones. They can take pictures of other Sims with their smartphones. Then they can apply a variety of different filters. Not only that, you can change the orientation of the photo to be either horizontal or vertical, and there's a bar at the bottom where you can have your Sim rotate around so that you get the perfect background. And once you take the photo, you can hang it up on the wall. When you upload a lot to the gallery that has custom photography, those images will actually be uploaded as well. So when someone else downloads your lot, they will see all the pictures that you've taken with your Sim. Not only that, but the painting references has returned from The Sims 3, which is absolutely fantastic. I loved that feature in The Sims 3, and I was super bummed that it wasn't in the base game, but now that's returned. So when they do a painting, there's a cool natural paint filter on top of it, and you can display those wherever you want. You can also duplicate paintings that your Sims make now. It does cost a few simoleons, but if you want to have more than one copy, it's very easy to do. You just click the painting and duplicate it. In build mode, you can also create basements now, but get this, so you can make 2 levels of basements. You can have the first floor basement, then a basement underneath that basement, and you also have the ability to add a 4th floor now again. So you can basically double the size of your house now in the game. And then there's this new feature where you were able to move your house before in the past, but now you can move the entire lot, which is great because I'm sure plenty of you have downloaded a really nice house from the gallery where they spent all this time on landscaping, and then you kind of had to just butcher it whenever you wanted to move the house because it wasn't in the exact spot you wanted to, and then you would have to get rid of all the pretty landscaping. Well, no more. Now you can move the entire lot, and it will bring all of the terrain patterns, all the plants. It literally moves everything on the lot wherever you want. Now, if you place it off of the lot and it's yellow, you can still put it there, but everything in the yellow will get deleted. So if the house is too big, you can just, and you like the front, you can just push it back and chop it off and you just replace it with the wall. And that has been an incredibly handy feature. There's also a baking skill. It's very similar to the object from the Sims 3 store that had the baking object there, where you can make a variety of baked goods from your stove. You can also use the cupcake machine to make a variety of new things. There's some pretty wild recipes in there. You can make a fish pie, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So overall, I have to say this expansion pack has a lot of content, and it makes me excited for future expansion packs because they've taken a lot of things from previous Sims games but have tweaked them and improved on them a lot. I think my only complaint is just the world size of Magnolia Promenade is kind of unfortunate. But having said that, I'm still extremely excited for The Sims 4 Get to Work to come out on March 31st. You can pre-order it on Origin, and they are also selling this in retail stores, so you can get a physical copy if you want. And if you want to find out more about The Sims 4 Get to Work, I was not the only one to attend the preview event. If you look in the description, I'll put a link to Sims VIP's blog post. She has a mega post with all of the preview news that you could want. She's also had a interview with some of the producers, and I know The Sims Supply did the same thing, so you'll definitely want to check those both out, since I know those two interviews will be in English for sure and you'll be able to understand them. But feel free to tell me what you're most excited for about the expansion pack, and hopefully I'll see all of you March 31st once I start my Let's Play of The Sims 4 Get to Work.